about 50 yards down the road and pulled over because, yeah, it's failed. Bloody hell. In today's video, guys, we are going to be getting the S3 back onto the road and going for a first road test, and hopefully, if I can, squeeze it in for an MOT as well. So in the last video, we managed to get the engine fitted and it started and ran for a little bit and then I turned it off. I have now connected all my coolant lines. I have a new top coolant pipe here, which means this pipe is now no longer broken. I've also just fitted my main intake pipe as well, so should have a full circuit on the engine now, so we'll be able to run it up to temperature and just make sure we've got no leaks or anything like that. And then once we've done that, we can then go ahead and start fitting the rest of the front end, headlights, bumper, etc., bolting everything on properly, getting drive shafts in, prop shaft doing up tight, and going for that first road test. We also need to check to make sure that my wiring doesn't contain any faults within the engine as well and doesn't have any lights on the dash, etc. Now, I'm currently doing the R8 engine part 2 video as well. I've had some delays with that because I've cocked up the software that I use to make sure everything's right. So you may be, don't be alarmed, I may flit in between. So yeah, let's get it in the air, run the engine up and get the drive shafts fitted. Tell you what, first thing I'm going to do is fit a bloody battery in this kit. It's doing me head in. Brand new battery not working, got no buttons flashing. Fantastic. Brand new Duracell battery didn't work, but the Tesco one does. Maybe that's better. Well, so the only faults I've got left are coolant shut-off valve and O2 sensor heater control. Now, what I'm actually going to do quickly, just to see if it is the component, is I'm going to remove the coolant shut-off valve from the old engine and just plug it into the sensor, just to see if the code goes away. So as you can see here, look, I've literally just got the old one off the engine and just plugged it in, and I've just reread the codes, cleared them and reread them, and yeah, it doesn't come back. So that old coolant shut-off valve, which is behind there, is faulty, so we need to replace it with this one. Really frustratingly, I've just fitted this charge pipe that literally just, it's a pain in the ass to fit, and it goes right across the front of it. Why? I mean, I knew about this problem. Why I decided to fit that without doing what I've just done, God only knows. So I'm gonna have to take it back off again. So I started filming me taking the charge pipe off, but if I'm honest, I got really annoyed because it was taking ages and I ended up having to take the pipe completely off, so I stopped filming. Right, so I finally replaced that coolant shut-off valve, so I'm putting it all back together. So let's go for a start. Well, I'm just going to let it run up to temperature. I'll come back in a minute. So I've left it running now for about 15 minutes. It's up to temperature. It's not leaking. It's not overheating. It's instantly running fine. So I'm just going to give it a couple of revs now just to make sure it sounds okay. And then, yeah, we'll just go ahead and put it back together. Sounds good to me. So now I've run the engine up to temperature and all seems fine. There's no coolant leaks, no oil leaks. It's time to now put the car back together to get it on a road test. And to do that, I'm going to start by putting my battery tray on and get my battery in position. And before I put the lock carrier on, there are a few coolant pipes that I need to attach to the front end, and it's a bit tricky with it fully in position. So just with it pulled away a little bit gives me that little bit of space to do those up. Also aircon pipes down there as well. Again, a little bit more space to do that. So I put them on, and then I can put the lock carrier into position with the cross member and all 8 bolts done up nice and tight. Next up, we want to get the drive shafts and prop shaft done. The drive shafts I had to put fully in. The prop shaft I already had in with 1 bolt, so I just had to put the other 2 bolts in and do those up nice and tight. Also, the downpipe bracket which goes to the subframe, that was rattling a little bit because the bolts hadn't been done up tight. I just put them in just to rest them there. So I did those up as well, and also put the headlights in, which I think you've already seen as well. So now we bring the car back onto the ground. I want to get the front bumper on, including the headlight washer system as well. Get it all plumbed in with the parking sensors, etc. like that, and get the wheel arch liners in properly, all done up properly. And once that's all done both sides, I put the under trays fully on as well, so the car is now fully built up. Now, apart from the front wheels, that is the front end pretty much done. It is done down here anyway, so under trays are back on, wheel arch liners are all done up, drive shafts, everything, wishbones, everything on the front end is now done. There is one thing on the rear that I just wanted to have a look at quickly, and that is this bumper. Now, I don't know if it can be repaired. It's just pushed in here, nothing major, but what I'm going to try and do now is heat it up with a heat gun, see if it pops out, and if it does pop out, it might just be able to be repaired. So I'm going to try that now. So I thought I'd refit the ram air that come from the Golf R, just cleaned it up a little bit. It's not really damaged, but no, actually it's fine, all fitted up. And importantly, it's got the nicer free-flowing inlet, so it's just better for the car. So yeah, I thought I'd just leave it. It has got an R logo there, but I don't know if they all have that anyway, even for the S3. I'm not too sure. But final touches is the engine cover. And because this is a Golf R, I'm going to annoy everyone and fit a Golf R engine cover. How many people is this going to annoy? Look at that. Beautiful. No, I'm only joking. I'll get the S3 one. Had to change some of the lugs over. It's actually different. This engine cover is different to the Golf R one. Right, last thing to do for the moment is shut the bonnet. I think everything's good. Cool. Right, let's pull it forward and I suppose make sure everything works. See if we've got any warning lights on. Check all the lights because we need to MOT it straight away. So annoyingly, I can't really go for a road test until I've booked an MOT. The MOT station is about 2-3 miles away, so I can road test it on the way to MOT. It's a bit of a stupid rule because if anything breaks, I'm absolutely screwed and I don't have any time to fix it before MOT. But they're the rules. So the MOT is booked for tomorrow, so we're going to go for a road test on the way to MOT, and fingers crossed the car is all good. So fast forward to tomorrow. Right, it is now the next day, and I don't know if I'm just very stupid or feeling very confident, but I've got MOT in 4 minutes. I've got to go 5 miles down the road, and I haven't even road tested this car. So I mean, I've left it idling for the last 15 minutes just to warm up. One thing I did forget to do yesterday is I forgot to put the top part of the washer bottle on, which I have just done. Subsequently filled it up with water, so we've got washer jets, so that's fine. Now, the reason I didn't road test it even up and down this drive yesterday is because I didn't have my camera mount with me. I left it at home, and therefore, if I had have done it up and down the drive, I wouldn't have been able to film it, and if I had a problem, then I would have just not had it on camera. So I just really hope there's no problems now, because I'm literally just going straight onto the road. Oh, that's really stupid, isn't it? Right, I'm out. Oh, I can't believe I'm literally just straight onto the road. New engine. Haven't tested anything. I am heavily relying on the fact that I've done everything up, done everything right, not left anything loose. I mean, so far so good. 600 yards in. Don't want to test boost. Don't know if I've boost hose. If I put my foot down, a boost hose pops off. I don't want that. So I don't want to risk it. So I'll check boost on the way back from MOT. But it's probably just good now just to drive it softly. Obviously, because I haven't operated the car, there could be some air in the coolant system as well. Because with these systems, you have to like depressurize it. It's a bit, you have to like add pressure to push all the air out. It's a bit more complicated than an older system where you can just fill it up and let it bleed itself. I mean, these do bleed themselves, but it takes just a lot longer, and you could drive it for 10-15 minutes and then all of a sudden it just finds an air pocket and then gurgles a load of water, and then your coolant warning light comes on. So that may happen as well. I'll tell you what though, this is a very nicely spec'd car. I mean, one of the reasons I bid on it, to be honest, we've got your super sport seats, we've got our tech pack, which gives us the better high definition display, because the low definition, smaller display is absolutely awful by today's standards. This one, high def, a bit bigger, it actually, you could get away with it being quite modern. Bang & Olufsen as well, really good sound system in this, combined with the tech pack. Got LED headlights, which are RS. Usually you'd only see them in an RS3 because they were standard on them. They were an option on the S3 and possibly on the A3 as well. They're like the older generation LED headlights. They're not very good, if I'm honest, but they look cool. And obviously they're different, they're rarer, so it's a bit of a cool option. We've got push button start as well. I'm assuming that means it's keyless entry as well. Not something I'd necessarily spec anymore, just with how easy it is to steal cars with keyless. But it is, I mean, it's got it, so it's another option. What else? We've got hill hold as well. So it's quite a well spec car, it's quite nice. And brakes good. I've still got the GTI alloys on, which we will be swapping for the Revo alloys that are on the GTI at the minute. Gearbox is nice and smooth. Because obviously, don't forget, I bought this car with an engine problem, but it doesn't mean that there wasn't anything else wrong with it as well. So like everything, it was a massive risk, hoping it was just the engine that was at fault. It's kind of the reason why I haven't sold anything else that I got off that Golf R, like the rear diff or anything, because for all I know, the rear diff could be faulty. It still could be. I haven't obviously tried booting it, so could get those at wheel spin yet. But no, everything seems to be driving fine. I've just been doing 60 along there and I couldn't hear any noises, so the wheel bearings should be good. No knocking, which is great. Engine seems to be sweet. We must be up to temperature now and I haven't had any coolant lights on. If I'm honest, I don't want to say it, but it's driving really, really nicely. I think the tracking needs doing a little bit because my steering wheel is slightly off centre to the left, but fingers crossed, she's sweet. So I'll tell you what, I'm nearly at the MOT station now. Obviously this is a little bit boring, but I'm just talking. I don't want to boot the car until it's had an MOT. So I'm going to stop it there and I'll catch you in a moment after MOT. I've got to remember to take my screen mount out of the screen because, yeah, I'll probably fail on that. So I've just got out of the MOT centre, driven about 50 yards down the road and pulled over because, yeah, it's failed. Bloody hell. Engine management light must have come on during test because it's failed on engine management light and rear braking balance, which that is to be expected with that because the car has sat for a year. Obviously, I only did, 4 or 5 miles on the way down here. Rear brakes don't get used as much anyway. So if I'm honest, they could just be, I could do a few brake tests, get probably a bit of rust on the pads, to be honest, a bit of rust on the discs. So we can sort that quite easily. I'll just probably take it back to the workshop, take the rear brakes out, just clean them all up, put them back together. So that should be fine. But the engine management light is, I don't know what that is. So let's just have a look at that now. I've just plugged the computer in to have a look. Read DTC, what we got? What? O2 sensor heater control circuit. Why is that putting an EML on? Only fault. Interesting. Well, let's clear it. Get rid of it. Can do one. Does it come back? I'm pretty sure it comes back. It does come back, but it doesn't put the engine management light on. So if I start it now, look, gone. So that's weird. See, I ignored that code for the moment because it didn't put the engine management light on. Now it has, but there's no additional codes. Right, okay, so failed MOT, great. Right, now I know it's nothing major. I've cleared the code now, the engine management light hasn't come back on, so I'll give it a little boot on the way back. Well, I suppose good news is I'm fairly certain I can obviously get it through its MOT without costing any money. Hopefully I've got the sensor off the Golf R downpipe and just the rear brakes need a clean up. I mean, I suppose that is a bit of a result at the end of the day. Nothing else, touch wood, has gone wrong. Have just replaced an engine, I suppose, in a completely car that I had no idea what else was wrong with it. So to come away with just those 2 minor failures, I suppose I'll take that. Right, horrible weather. My camera was awful focus towards the end of that last clip, but let's put it in sport. Let's see what, go for a little, go. Hey, had me little induction. No, sounded good. Not remapped, it's standard. I had a feeling it would be. There's no other mods on this car whatsoever. But no, it sounded nice. Even without a res delete or anything, it sounded quite nice. Boosted fine then. No boost hoses come off. So let's just slow down. Oh yeah, actually, yeah. Oh yeah, brakes, you can tell actually, a bit horrible. Right, let's do it again. Strong. Engine strong. That's good. Brakes are crap. Well, I mean, they're good, they work, but a bit juddery. Oh yeah, they're horrible actually. I have a set of Golf R brakes in the workshop. Might be fitting those in a minute. Seems like it hooked up well there. Off. Right, let's see if it'll just do a launch control. There's no one behind me. Launches well. No. Four-wheel drive does work, by the way. I've just damp conditions, launched it, wheel spin, none. So Haldex, good. Car, good. Brakes, not good. Right, let's get it back in the workshop. So the Bank 102 sensor is the one actually in the exhaust of the turbo right down here. Now I did just remove the old one and you can see here, look, it is pretty much toast, all white at the end. So I took the O2 sensor out of the other engine, which is the original engine for this. I have just plumbed it all in. I realized I didn't actually have an O2 sensor socket, so I have just made one, which did the job. So let's just turn the ignition on and see if that will clear our codes. Beautiful. Let's just go back and double check. Come back into it. Oh, look at that green tick. Because that code didn't go last time. It always came back. Oh, absolutely no faults in this car whatsoever now. So let's take it back. So I took the S3 back for its MOT retest, and frustratingly, there was like an hour-long wait. And yeah, I just didn't have an hour to wait. So unfortunately, really annoyingly, I bought it back without an MOT. I'm going to go back first thing in the morning to get MOT'd. It will pass 100%, but it's just frustrating that I've got to end this video without it MOT'd. But it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. So for now, I have actually just given the car a wash, and I've put the wheels from the Golf GTR on it. So guys, I'm going to show you now how good this S3 looks. So yes, here she is, all nice and clean. Now let me know what you guys think about the Revo matte bronze alloys against the, not the Panther black, because that works really well, more against the chrome styling or the aluminium styling. I don't think this is a package on this. I think it's just a standard S-line trim. If you wanted black styling pack or black edition, you would then get all the accents in black. But do you think the matte bronze wheels suit the alley, or would it be better if the wheels were silver to match the alley? I'm going to say they would look better in silver, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. Also, it needs lowering as well, because it's just sitting a bit too high on these wheels. But the offset, really nice, really tucked into the wheel arch, so it gives it a really nice stance there. Guys, that is the S3 done in standard form, apart from a few little bit of bodywork. I mean, I need a touch up here. It's got a bit of a scuff there. So, no, to be fair, actually, that might even, that's not, I can't feel any things that might polish out, you know. But if it doesn't, it just needs a smart repair. And I had a look at this rear bumper, and I couldn't really push it out. So I'm going to get a new rear bumper, and that's going to get painted, so that'll be fitted. Then the car will be 100% sound in a standard form. Now, I haven't decided whether to fit the performance parts from the GTI yet, which will take this to about 515, 520 horsepower. Nothing to do with this car, it's more because I don't want to devalue the GTI, because the GTI is a Cat S and it's just a bit less appealing if it was also standard, whereas this is an HPI Clear. It's a completely normal car, just had a new engine. So yeah, I'm a bit in two minds there. Also, let me know what you guys would do in the comments about that as well. So really happy with how this series has gone with the S3. Everything has pretty much gone spot on. Let me know if you guys enjoyed it as well. So that is the S3 done for now. Obviously, we'll decide what I do about the mods at a later date. So a massive thank you to everyone for watching this series. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe and also follow me on Instagram at saving_salvage. Now that the S3 is done, that paves the way for the GT4. Cheers, guys.